Can your vision change the world? Or can it blind you to the realities that are right in front of you? Hi, I'm Roxanne St. Clair, and today I'm going to be talking with you about visionary leadership, describing some of the characteristics of a visionary leader, maybe even looking at a few that you may already know. Maybe some have already come to mind as you've heard the title. And then we'll look at some pros and cons of visionary leadership because it's no form of leadership is either good or bad. There's always some positives and some negatives that are associated. And it's really down to you as the leader to define what works for you, why it works for you, and potentially look at areas that may have been causing some problems or challenges for you. And that's the whole idea of this episode, just to help you identify yourself as that leader and to see how you can make it work for you and where you can actually improve on stuff so that you actually improve your impact and can strengthen your team's engagement. So, to start with, as I said, I will look at some characteristics of a visionary leader. And one of the first things that I would say is that if you this is you, you know that you have particular drive. You really want to push forward on achieving whatever that vision may be that you have. But in doing that, your passion comes out and it can be quite contagious where other people may pick up on that passion as well. But it's always you that's at the forefront of it because it's the vision that you can see. And as title says, it's a visionary leader. So it's your vision, it's what you see. And sometimes we all know that we want things to happen like yesterday. So we can become quite focused on the outcome that we want as visionary leaders. Now, that's interesting. I could share a story with you of an example of somebody that I worked with. And they had an idea for a statue that they were going to get built. And I was one of the trustees working with them. And I wasn't there at the beginning, so I can't take ownership of that. But I recall them telling me that they had this idea because it was something they were committed to doing, and they, years before, they decided that they were going to get this statue built to commemorate a significant figure. And they thought, yeah, sure, I'll do it. I only need to raise X amount of money, and 6 months a year, it will be done. This was their vision. What's the problem? The thing can be done. It's been done before, so why not now? Now, as I said to you, there are pros and cons of being a visionary leader. So, part of the pros, clarity of purpose. So, what was the purpose here? It was to erect a statue. They're very clear on that. They knew who the person was, they knew why they were doing it, and it's been done before, or the possibility was there. So, and another characteristic, or one of the pros of being a visionary leader, is the fact that they can be quite innovative. So there's innovation. And when we talk about innovation, maybe there's somebody that's already come to mind. There's somebody that I think all of us know, Steve Jobs. He was somebody that we would all say was a visionary leader. Likewise, Nelson Mandela, another visionary leader. They could see what was possible. They knew what they felt would benefit mankind. So they had that vision and they were at the forefront. They were the figureheads that were known for that. So that's just two people that come to mind straight away. And another aspect of being a visionary leader is about decision making. Because as I mentioned at the beginning, you want things done yesterday. So therefore, in order to get the result that you want, quick decision making is often a characteristic of a visionary leader because they're so clear, they know what it is they want. So the decision needs to be made. How are we going to get this thing done? So we need a decision. And that is, those are some of the pros that are connected with visionary leadership. But on the other hand, what you can find, in particular if you're working with a team, the team are trying to keep pace. And in that trying to keep pace, they may have to work in a way that's different to how they would usually work. And this can lead to burnout. We hear about it quite often now in the workplace where people are expected to do so much more, keep going, do the extended hours, do more than one person's job. And not everybody can sustain this over a long period of time. So unless there is a break in some way, the break actually occurs within the person themselves and can lead to burnout. So this is one of the cons of visionary leadership, is because it's so focused on such tunnel vision that things like checking in with people's well-being, making sure that people can maintain the pace that you would set, it may not be possible for them. So it's remembering to check in and make sure that your team is still okay and therefore able to deliver the outcomes that you're looking for. And as I mentioned before, with the project that I was on, the assumption was that a certain amount of money would need to be raised, and the time frame for the project to get to completion was considered to be 6 months to a year. In reality, the budget that was required for this statue was more than 10 times the amount assumed. So you can see here, in that optimism, sometimes the amount of resources that are required is far more than the visionary actually anticipated. And likewise, a project that was deemed to be something that would last for a year actually lasted 12 years. So you can see right there, you're so clear, you're so ready for what you want to do, that you may underestimate the resources required in order to deliver on your vision. So these are some of the cons that are associated with visionary leadership. So what's the solution? The solution here is by having people who are experts, people who are able to accommodate your requirements. So at each stage of whatever, whether it's a project, whatever it is that you have the vision for, if you have the right people on board who actually understand what it is you want to achieve, they can help you in terms of that estimation. But it requires you being willing to listen, because again, if you're keen to have the outcome and you want the results quicker rather than later, maybe you will not listen to that expert who's done it before or done something similar and therefore knows the timeframes, knows the budgets, and that can prevent you from becoming unstuck further down the line, because there's nothing worse than starting a project or a program, getting partway through and realizing that you haven't got everything you need to make it work or to make it happen. And then you're backpedaling and having to try and find other ways, or maybe shortcuts, or the project or program will stall because you haven't got the resources required. So as a visionary leader, it does mean that, yes, have the vision, have the clarity of focus, and keep driving forward to achieve the end result. But having that willingness to listen, get the right people on board who can deliver, and checking in with people to ensure that they're able to maintain the pace, then ties in well for you as a visionary leader. And I want to close with you on another aspect, because where I've just explained to you how you can make it work, it may then mean that you have to actually change your leadership style and adapt to another leadership style once you've got the project running or the program has taken off, because you may have to then take on a laissez-faire approach and leave those professionals and experts to get on and do the job that they're capable of doing, because you don't want to run the risk of push, 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 push to the extent that people then decide to pull back, pull back, pull back, and stop. And then your project, your program, product, whatever it is you're working towards, may not actually come to fruition. And therefore, where are you? You're back to square one. So I hope that this has been useful for you, that you've got some good pointers here. You've taken into consideration the pros of being a visionary leader and also the cons of being a visionary leader. and you're able to now navigate your way through your leadership role with a bit more ease and getting the results that you want to get within the reasonable time frames that you desire to get them. So thank you for tuning in. I look forward to connecting with you again on another video, and do let me know how you're getting on. And also remember to subscribe so that you can get notifications as to when new material comes out that could also be beneficial to you and your teams. Take care for now. Bye.